Okay, it's not too much of a spoiler to simply say that the whole novel ends with the image of the triune goddess Hecate. And, for those who have the eyes to see it and the ears to hear it, the esoteric message of that novel is very much about a kind of ritual devotion to Artemis Hecate. The ancients understood that these were different aspects of a single goddess figure, and the older version of her, which actually comes from the Iranian world, from the Caucasus, is a deity named Satana. Satana means Sat or Sad in current Persian is 100. And Na at the ending in that kind of Sarmatian Scythian dialect meant sons. So she's the mother of 100 sons. And these 100 sons that she's the mother of, they're the chivalric heroes in like what became later the Arthurian Grail mysticism. Pahlavans, the anointed knights. And it said that she trains them in an underwater kingdom beneath the Caspian Sea. Later, she became the Lady of the Lake of the Grail mysticism. And she's also the mother of all the Gorgons. So, the Scythians and the Sarmatians worshipped Gorgons. And Medusa was one of these, right? And Medea was a priestess of this Gorgon cult. And so the chief deity of Medea was Satan. And what few people know, which I've discussed in Iranian Leviathan, toward the beginning of the book opens with a chapter called something like the Dragon Mother of Mithraic Iran. And what I discuss in that book is how there was a Scythian invasion of the entire Middle East around about 700 BC. And the Scythians got as far as Egypt, meaning what? They occupied Israel. And I believe, for various reasons that I've argued, that this whole story of the serpent in Eden, who was depicted in feminine form throughout the history of Western art, that the Satan figure beginning in Eden and its connection to the empowerment of women, which was censored from Genesis 6. If you look at the book of Enoch, the most important thing that's said in there, which, the removal of which makes you lose all the context for what is stated at Genesis 6, is that these fallen angels taught women all these things that allowed them to defy the patriarchal tyranny of, Adonai and his Elohim. So basically, an order of witches was created, and this is why there's a prohibition on witchcraft in the Old Testament, because it begins with the priestesses of what in the Greek tradition we call Atlantis. And Medea is keeping this tradition alive, right? And then these people, the Scythians, is called the culture of Medea. They sweep down from the Caucasus, actually from both sides of the Caspian Sea, and they conquer the whole Middle East around about 700 BC. I think that the imagery of Satan as the serpent, the serpentine, Satan, Shaitan, what should I call it? Form of religiosity, right? Spiritual movement. That really is a Scythian influence on Canaanite or Israelite culture. And I think it's not unrelated to the fact that King David had Ashtaroth or statues of Ishtar or some such goddess figure all over the inside of his home. There was a dissident, I hate to say tradition, a dissident counter-tradition, a dissident counter-initiation in Israel from at least 700 BC, which leaves us with the image of the serpent in Eden, which eventually becomes the dragon of the apocalypse. And this is actually originally a feminine image, not a masculine. And it's completely related to the Gorgon cult of the Scythians and to, the religion of priestesses like Medea. So this is all in response to Chester's bringing up Hecate, a later reiteration of this same goddess or titaness, this deity that was more than demonized, that became, the arch demonic figure of the entire Abrahamic world.
Yeah, and the Greeks, of course, kind of lowered the Gorgons. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's been going on, but all hail Satana. And of course, the Gnostics saw the serpent as Sophia in a lot of their myths. One